These are the measurements you need in order to draft your full basic bodies. I'm going to be starting with the shoulder. Then next we have the round armhole. Then your shoulder to bust, that's also the bust line. Then the bust circumference. Then shoulder to waist for the front and the back. The waist circumference. Shoulder to hip line, and also the hip circumference. Then your nipple to nipple measurements. So let's get started with the drafting. First, my tools, my tape measure, my pencil, or in my case my marker, scissors, and my curved ruler. I first marked an horizontal line, that will be my shoulder line. Then I'm going to mark in a straight line. This will be my center front line. Next, I'm going to be marking my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5 inches. Then I'm going to be marking my armhole. My armhole is 17 inches divided by 2, that's 8.5. This 8.5 line is going to be my chest line. So that's me marking it, writing it out there, my chest line. Then my shoulder to bust is 10.5 inches, and I'm going to be marking that out. The next measurement is my shoulder to waist, front shoulder to waist. For the back, it's different. The back is usually shorter than the front. So for my front shoulder to waist length, I have 17.5. I'm ruling that out. Then my shoulder to hip line is 24 inches, and this is also the full length of my basic bodies. So I'm marking it out, and I'm going to be ruling a straight line. So this is me just labeling the lines so we will not get confused. Bust line, waistline, and the hip line. Next is my neckline. I'm marking 3 inches width and 3 inches depth for my neckline. I am going to be making a curve, joining these 2 points together with my curved ruler. Then I'm going to be marking my shoulder slant. From that point, I'm coming down by 0.75 inches and joining it to my neck line. Then I'm going to be measuring what I have left on my armhole line. I have 7.75 left. I'll divide it into 2 and mark what I get there. Then I'm going to be coming out from that point by 0.5 inches, and I'm going to be joining it from my shoulder line to my chest line with my curved ruler. So the next thing is my nipple to nipple measurement. Mine is 7.75 inches. Divided by 2, I'm going to mark what I get on my bust line, my waistline, and my hip line. Then I'm going to be joining the 3 points together. Then on my waistline, I'm marking 0.75 of that on either side of the line of my nipple to nipple line. Then on my bust line, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch, and on my hip line, I'm going to be coming up by 2 inches. Then I'm going to be joining these lines together to form my waist dart. And that's me labeling it there, waist dart. My bust is 38 inches divided by 4, that's 9.5 inches. I'm marking it. My waist is 30 inches divided by 4, 7.5 inches. And my hips, 42 inches divided by 4, 10.5 inches. Note that I'm marking everything from the center front line. Then I'm going to be adding my waist that I took out, which is 1.5 inches. And I'm going to be joining my lines together. All the way to the chest line. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take out my bust dart. From the nipple to nipple line, I'm going to be coming out by 1 inches. The difference between my front waistline and my back waistline is 2 inches, and that's going to be my bust dart. So I'm just marking the 2 inches from the bust line down. I'm going to be connecting it with the 1 inch that I marked earlier from the nipple to nipple measurement. So I think we're done with the front pattern. Then in order to draw the back pattern, I just maintain the same shoulder line the same shoulder line, and I'm going to be squaring it out in order to get my center back line. So all my measurements will be from this center back line. So as usual, my shoulder measurement 15 inches divided by 2, that's 7.5 inches. I come down by 8.5, which is half of my armhole measurement. I mark a straight line and I mark a horizontal line in order to get my chest line, and I'm going to be labeling that line as my chest line. Notice how the chest line for the back and the front is on the same line. That's because it's actually the same. Then the next thing is my bust line 10.5. I'm going to be marking it and ruling it out. It's also the same for the front and the back. Then the next thing is my back waist length. It is 15.5. For my front I have 17.5, but for my back is 15.5. The difference, which is 2 inches, is what I use for my bust dart. Then next, I'm going to be marking what I have from my front waistline to my hip line. I have about 6.5 inches, and that's what I'm going to be marking for my back waistline to my hip line as well, 6.5 inches. So I'm going to be marking that out. So if you notice, this simply means that the back is shorter than the front, and that shortage has been taken care of by the bust dart. You understand it better as we go along. So this is me just labeling it the bust line, waistline, and the hip line / full length of the back bodice. So next we move on to the neckline. The standard neckline for the back is 3 inches by 1 inch depth, and I am marking it out and drawing a curve with my curved ruler. Then I'm coming down by my shoulder slope 0.75 inches and connecting it to the chest line. For the back armhole, I'm going to be dividing it by 2, also what I have left, but I don't need to come out by 0.5 inches. I'll just make my curve straight to the chest line. Then I'm going to be marking my bust measurements 38 inches divided by 4, that's 9.5. I'm going to be marking it. Same with my waist, 7.5 inches, which is 30 divided by 4. Then, but before that, I'm supposed to mark my nipple to nipple measurements on all the lines. Then on the waistline, I'm going to be taking in 0.5 inches on both sides of the nipple to nipple line. Then I'm extending the nipple to nipple line to reach the chest line, because my dart will be stopping somewhere around there, as opposed to the front pattern where the dart stopped below the bust line. So I'm coming up by my on my hip line by 2 inches, and I'm just connecting my dart legs together. I'm connecting the points together. So this is the waist dart for the back. Then I am adding my dart allowance to my waistline, and I'm going to be connecting the points together. I hope it's quite understandable. Please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. I would really appreciate it, and I will go over it again with you. Thank you very much. So this is me labeling the front pattern and also the back pattern. So notice the difference in the length of the front pattern and the back pattern. I already explained that. We've taken care of that difference. And also on the center front, that part will be on fold. Your fabric will be on fold on that part. Then you add your seam allowance. Then also do not forget your zip allowance, which is on that side of the center back. Then I am going to be cutting out my pattern. So if you're going to be using this pattern to make a blouse, you're going to be adding your allowance, your seam allowance, round the pattern, except for the center front part, which is going to be on fold. You're going to add your allowance on the shoulder line, the armhole curve, the side seam. Then this part, while cutting this side, I had to take in my bust darts so that I will not have shortage. You see what I'm talking about? Can you see? So that I will not have shortage when I am cutting my pattern out. So that's it. The front pattern is done. Then moving on to my back pattern, I'm going to be cutting it out also. So if you are going to be adding a zipper, you're just going to add your zipper allowance to the center back. And please, if you're making a blouse, if you're using this pattern, don't forget to add your seam allowance. It is very important. And don't forget to take in your waist dart and your bust dart. So there you have it, the front basic pattern with bust dart and waist dart, and also the back basic pattern. Can you see when I took in the bust dart, the sides are equal,